Welcome to the Coast to Coast Pick 5 preview show for Saturday, March 16th. And Gino, seems like every week we start this out by saying the rain is behind us, the gale force winds are behind us, something is behind us. But once again, at least in Southern California, we're back to sunny skies and nice weather, which we're used to all the time. But February in particular has been a crazy month. Hopefully that's all behind us now.
Yeah, we had a really wet couple of months here from the very beginning of the meet, from opening day and on. But this is a fun time of the year, Chappie, because this weekend it's kind of a calm before the storm. We have the NHC, so the horse players kind of get the focus this weekend. And then starting next weekend, every track will have their last big Kentucky Derby prep race. So next weekend we go Fairgrounds and Turfway Park. They have their big races and all the undercards. The weekend after that, Dubai World Cup Day, Florida Derby, and Arkansas Derby, all on the 30th. And then on April 6th, you got Santa Anita Derby Day, Wood Memorial, and Keeneland Bluegrass, all three of those on the same day. So the next 3 Saturdays are going to all be those awesome Saturdays where we have tons of races to play from, start to finish.
Plenty of excitement moving forward. Skipper, especially like Gino said, it's 3-year-old season, and Skip was on assignment last weekend. He's back in the fold. Welcome back, Skipper. How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's glad to be back. I needed that week off, and now I'm ready to go. And it's funny you said about this weather. I made sure I got my car washed this morning. A couple clouds in the sky, but the sun was out right when I was done. Guess what? It started sprinkling, then it started raining, so it never fails.
Yeah, it's been a very bizarre time, but we will be fast and firm this weekend. We should be plenty good in Southern California. But we're going to talk about the Coast to Coast Pick 5, which obviously includes Gulfstream Park and Santa Anita Park. Low 15% takeout, $1 bet. These things have been paying terrific. Gino, let's get right to it. We start, the first leg would be Gulfstream Park, race 10. We're going a mile on the main, Gino. What are you looking at?
What makes this race very difficult is the horse to beat in here is named Arthur's Ride. He has not raced in over a year. And when in the races we've seen from him, he's been forwardly placed. And it also looks like there's a good amount of speed in this field. That's what makes this difficult as a starting point, because a couple months down the line, that might be the best horse. This may be a lot to ask of him in this race right away. But you look at some of the horses that he's faced. Disarm, last year, who is graded stakes winner, grade 1 place. Dreamlike is a multiple graded stakes place horse. Instant Coffee, multiple graded stakes winner. WNL, Rocket Can, those are all in the running lines for Arthur's Ride. So I think you throw him in, but I can't single him or key in on him. This barn can get him ready to rock off the bench. Let me mention a couple of the others. This is a shout out to our buddy, the sniper, Barry Spears, is one of his angle. You got the lone closer in this race. I have to use Noble Drama. There are versions of this race where almost all of these horses are forwardly placed. They're all trying to jockey for position. And the one horse who's going to drop way back and swoop actually has a little bit of back class. That's the 7, Noble Drama. So I want him in the mix as well. The 1 and the 2 probably both make their way onto my tickets. I think Cape Trafalgar could just sit right behind the leaders and get the jump. Furious Anger, he actually might be the horse who's the quickest of all of them with his 6 furlong sprint speed. So 7, 1, 5 for sure for me. Possibly the 2 on a ticket or so.
All right, so a little bit of spreading here with Gino, and thinks there's plenty of speed in this race. Skip, what are your thoughts here in the first leg?
Yeah, I figured out it's going to be, the ticket I'm going to play is $240. Like Gino was saying, the best horse in the race is probably the 5, but coming off the break, I did like the work on March 1st. It was a good work, but that horse might need a race. So I'm going to use the 1, the 3, Big Martini, which ran a bang-up race last time. It got 4th, beaten a half length, but back to its favorite track. It raced a couple times at Tampa Bay Downs, and it showed a new dimension last time with Luis Saez coming from off the pace instead of showing speed, which I like. So the 3 is going to be on my ticket. I'm going to use the 5, the class of the race. And then like Gino said, with all that speed in here, I got to use Noble Drama. It's a 10-time winner. It likes the track. 9 of his 10 wins have been at Gulfstream, and it has that back class. So I'm going to go 1, 3, 5, 7 on my ticket.
1, 3, 5, 7. So we're all spreading, and no full screen on anybody's tickets. So trying to beat the chalk right off the bat, which we like that. We're already entered the no chalk zone in leg 1. As we move to leg 2, we're going to Santa Anita Park, race 5, 6.5 furlongs on the turf. And you guys know that where I'm going, at least to start, and that would be with Can't Sleep, who I did single on debut. And I was actually, and we all were, expecting her to show speed. And she did not break all that well, but won very impressively for a trainer who's not known to win first time out. Now she's 5-2, Gino. So what are your thoughts in here? It was a very impressive debut, but there could be some other ways to go in here.
Yeah, but I think you have to use her for a few reasons. Like what you pointed out, visually it was impressive. She was wide, 4 wide at the top of the lane. She moved to the lead early, and at that point, she was on her wrong lead as well. So you could still, she was green. She was still figuring things out. Like there's another step forward for her, and there's some like a ceiling that we haven't seen. I think you have to use her, and just looking at the way the race may shape up, you have to kind of look at intentions, I think, in this race with a couple of these horses in particular, because if you look at the 4 Recalcitrant, the 6 Clubhouse Bride, and the 7, the Shishula, they all 3 were in the same race on February the 16th. And they were 3 of 4 horses that were battling across the track and all going really fast. So you would think the 3 of them are all right back here, right? They're all going to be speed horses again. But 2 of those 3 horses take the blinkers off, which sometimes signals to you that they may want to try to show a little bit less early speed. And if that is the case, I want to make sure I use the 6 because that's the only one that's not taking the blinkers off. And if Clubhouse Bride actually shows that early speed and a couple of these other horses take back, that could be the one that maybe wins the battle of the speeds. I think I'm going to go 3, 6, 8 in here, Chappie, with Quick Kate, Clubhouse Bride, and Can't Sleep.
Yeah, I'm gonna play 2 tickets, and I am gonna single Can't Sleep on one of the tickets and spread a little bit elsewhere. Skip, what are your thoughts here?
I'm going to single here. You gave this horse out on the radio first time out. Was working great. Carly Gaines doesn't win first time out very often. I like the breeding on this horse. And like you said, it was broke inward, bumped at the start, wide on the turn, never switched leads. This horse is still going to improve. It's going to move forward off that race, and it's going to show more speed if it breaks better. I love the outside draw. I'm singling Can't Sleep here. It came back. It worked twice on the 24th and March 1st, and that's going to be my single.
Yeah, people, I was looking at something last night. Somebody was talking about this race and saying, well, if they go fast again, it'll set up for her late kick. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. She can be anywhere she wants. She's got a lot more speed than shown. So Frankie be tactical, but he could be on the lead. He could sit back, and I like the outside draw. Get a great trip in here. All right, did we move on? The next leg would be race 6 at Santa Anita. We're going 6 furlongs on the main here, Skipper. We got a 9-5 shot drawn outside. What are your thoughts in here?
I'm going to go 3 deep in here. I'm going to use the outside, Matanzas Creek, obviously. That horse came out of a good race. It's actually his last 3 races have been very good. Ran good, but, at 8-5, I don't know. I like the way the 5 horse, 5th Street, is training for Baffert. I like the way that it won and broke its maiden going a mile at Los Alamitos. And the other horse I'm going to use is the 1. I don't get it. It goes from Doug O'Neill to Antonio Garcia, but that's okay. Antonio, his win percentage isn't real good, but he could pop with a nice one. And this horse has some good races. The first time out, hit gate, steadied early. Second race, I loved it stretching out. It had a terrible stumble at the start, throw that race out. Then he broke his maiden, and then they stepped it right into the Santa Anita Derby. The 1's got to be on my ticket. I like the work that it did, but it's not on the form. It was back in January, I believe. But I'm going to go 1-5-6 here.
1-5-6 for you. So tossing Hey Brother, who is interesting. Gino, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I look at these races early a lot of the time, so I don't have the morning lines up when I do. I think I'm glad I did in this particular case because I probably would have tried to get a little cuter, but handicapping this race, first off, it doesn't to me look like there's that much speed because watching 5th Street, I don't think he's a sprinter. Maybe I'm wrong, when I watch his works and his race, he looks like he doesn't really get going until the end of it. And I'm not sure if he's going to be faster than Matanzas Creek in here. The one, I don't get it. He might be the best horse, but gosh, this feels to me like a starting point, kind of get a nice race under his belt and then stretch out a little bit more moving forward. 6 furlongs from the rail in a race where there may not be that much speed. Like I wasn't sure if this was the ideal conditions for him. So I look at the 2 who hasn't run in a long time. You look at the 3 who that feels sort of like a starting point. That horse has never sprinted. All of his races have been longer. This is kind of like hey, let's see where we are with this horse for the new barn and start over. I got down to Hey Brother and Matanzas Creek, the 2 of them. And when I do, generally, I'm going to pick one of the 2. I think Matanzas Creek a little bit faster. Let's use Judge Miller as the measuring stick, right? Judge Miller, who beat Hey Brother. Judge Miller came back and got a 105 Beyer speed figure when he won his next race. But Matanzas Creek actually beat Judge Miller last year. And I think with the outside draw, he could be gone. He just completely missed the break last time out, but he has a lot more speed than that. Give me Matanzas Creek. I'm going to be the chalk-eating weasel in the 6th.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. That would definitely be my top pick. And I'm still confused. I think, at least on the ticket where I'm singling in the first leg, I will use I Don't Get It. I do think it is a launching point for a longer race. But there's a case where the outside 3 might all go and hook up, and it sets up for that horse who probably is going to get overlooked in a short field here, right? I mean, a field of 6, you might get 8-10 to 1 on that, just because
That's
of the trainer switch everything, right?
He'll probably play a little higher than that, and he should float up.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Let's move on to the next leg, and that would be Gulfstream Park, race 12, maiden special weight, mile on the 16th. Skip, we're coming right back to you here on the grass. What are your thoughts?
I think
Skipper.
It might be muted.
I'm going to go 4 deep in here. I really like the race that the 1 Better Bet was coming out of. This horse had trouble going in the first turn, was very wide on the far turn and the stretch. It finished nicely. I almost singled this horse, but then I looked at the workout pattern, and it ran January 18th. It came back to work February 4th, February 11th. Then there's not a work from February 11th to March 9th. That, I am a little skeptical of that, so I'm not going to single, but I like that first race. I love the breeding. 1's going to be on my ticket. The 5, St. Noet's, is going to be on my ticket. 2 back, that race at Churchill Downs, breaking from the 12 hole. That was a really good race. Taking Candy won that race, and then the 3rd place finisher came back and won. That's going to be on my ticket at 10 to 1. Juan Valdez, the 9 horse, comes out of the same race as the 1. The 1 ran a little bit better race, but I think the 9, Juan Valdez, will improve off that. The trainer, Shug McGee, does good second time, 21%. That horse didn't run bad either. So the 1, 5, 9, and then the other one I'm going to add on my ticket is number 11, Union Trail. Barclay trains this horse. This horse is going to have speed. There's not a lot of speed in the race, it doesn't look like. They put the blinkers on. It's coming off a break, but I like the work on the 26th of February on the grass, and then they came back, and I like the work on March 10th at on the main track. So I'm going to go 1, 5, 9, and 11 in here.
1, 5, 9, 11. Gino?
Yeah, I'm going to be 2 deep in here. Skip was pointing out that it doesn't look like there's that much early speed on paper. I agree with him. I think because of that, the 4 is a major player, fly right. If you go through his form overall, everything makes sense. So the first few races of his career, he loses to General Jim. That's a multiple graded stakes winner. He loses to Major Dude. That's a grade 2 winner. He loses to Ari Gold. That's a lone speed horse who went and win a stakes race following that. And then after that, look at the rest of his races. He's second in back-to-back races on the turf. Those are good. Then there's a race taken off the turf at Saratoga. Just eliminate that race completely. And then look at his 2 starts since coming back to a new barn and since returning to the races this year. He's 3rd in his first start off the bench. Last time out, he had a bunch of traffic early on, and then he settled 5th. He was a little wide. He moved all the way up to the lead. Then it looked like he was done at the top of the lane, and he kept grinding all the way, and he was only beaten like half of a length. And now the blinkers come on. for a horse like this, he looked like a horse that may just need a little more focus. Blinkers on, third off the bench, not that much speed in here. He could be set for one more step forward. I think he's going to run a big race. I'm going to use the 1 and the 4. All the reasons Skip pointed out on the 1. If you want to watch a great backtrack, this horse should come flying late. Lost to a lone speed winner in that debut, and he was about 9 wide at the top of the lane. Give me the 1 and 4 at Gulfstream in the 12th.
All right, 1 and 4 to Gulfstream to the 12th. Then we end up in the last and final leg, race 7 at Santa Anita. We're going a mile and an eighth on the Turf Maiden Special Weight. And I'm going to do a little spread in here, gentlemen. This you could make a case for quite a few horses. And
honestly, which horse would shock you?
None, but I'm going to make a case for a 15 to 1 shot, and then I'll let you guys go from there. I think Nitty needs to be on the ticket. Skip must as well. But before that debut, Nitty was working better than American Glory. And then they came out of that race, was JJ Hernandez was on the horse, completely missed the break, sat back last, just kind of they gave it a race. Came back, they worked again together last week. Now, I get it. It's dirt work, turf horses. But Leonard Powell, very good second off the bench both times. I think the price will be even higher because JJ goes somewhere else. But I don't mind Frisu jumping aboard this horse anyways. Horse worked very well again. They take the blinkers off. The horse is going to be an absolute bomb. So in the spread version of this, I think Nitty is an extremely live long shot who's probably going to be at least 20 to 1 in here. Skip, you're nodding along. What are your thoughts?
I like that. I like Nitty in here, and I saw the same thing you. I love the blinkers off, but when it broke slow, JJ just had it guzzled back at the end, then was making a little move and kind of got steadied or just really didn't have anywhere to go. And, they went fast early, but then they slowed the race down. So when it was trying to make a move, the other horses took off that were on the lead. They just took back off. So that race is very sneaky, 15 to 1, but I like a bomb in here. Use the 1, Chasing Rain. Watch the replay on this horse. That horse ran really good first time out. I love the way that this horse galloped out. Yes, 20 to 1. This horse has got to be on my ticket. And if you guys don't use it, make sure you add it because I'm telling you, I got a feeling about this Chasing Rain. We've been talking about the rain as we're going. I just heard thunder, so it might start raining for a minute again. I'm going to use the 1 for all the reasons that I said. I'm going to use the 2 also. I like the blinkers on. That last race kind of looked like almost a prep for me. He was breaking from the outside. Dettori could have moved wide on the turn, but he kind of tucked right in behind those horses. And then he tried to split him and he got bumped at the top of the stretch. And then he just kind of flattened out a little bit. That looked like a prep. 2's going to be on my ticket. The 4 for all the reasons that Chappie said. I'm going to use the 5. I think this horse going to the grass, coming out of those real good races with Muth, Coach Prime, Imagination, Cornell. This horse, I think, will like the grass. I love Rosario jumping aboard. And then I got to use the 6 also. Let Seamus Go. That horse has had some really good races. It will be in a great position. And I'm going to go 5 deep. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 with my bombs. The 1, Chasing Rain, and Chappie likes the 4, Nitty at 15 to 1, and I do too. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6 for me.
I'm pretty much the same as you. I'm going to use the 3 as well, who did run a big race. And you mentioned Let Seamus Go. Jock switch
I'm chucking the 6. I'm worried about both of those last 2 races. This horse had a lead and looked like was going to win. And what really concerns me was the 2-back race, the race where Shot of Courage had the lead. Let Seamus Go, takes the lead at the top of the lane, looks like was going to win easy. And then Shot of Courage almost came back and beat the horse for second. So I've seen this horse loom up multiple times, hang a little bit, and now they got to go an extra 1/8 of a mile in a race where we're pointing out every other horse in the race that we think is kind of interesting. And this one's probably going to be a much shorter price. So for me, I think in this race, I'm going to probably chuck that one out. I want to play a little game with you before we finish up, Chappie. The number 5, Indispensable. in his races. He lost to a horse named Cornell. Do you know who Cornell is trained by?
I would think Bob Baffert, is he not?
Baffert. In the race before that, he lost to a horse named Imagination. Do you know who Imagination is trained by?
Yeah, they're all Bafferts.
And then Coach Prime?
Baffert.
How about Muth?
Baffert.
How about Rothschild?
I didn't think that was Baffert.
No, that wasn't. I was trying to trick you. That one was Yakteen. That was Yakteen.
Oh, Yakteen.
I was setting you up there, Chappie. But
I knew that one. You can't get that one by me.
Doesn't the 5 look like a horse who they knew had some ability, and they were trying to see if maybe they could get him into a Kentucky Derby points race? I almost think the way that they were like, hey, let's see, can he break a maiden and maybe we throw him into the Santa Anita Derby, get some points and see if he has a shot. Nope. Now it's too late. Now let's go to the grass. I think the 5 is going to run a big race. He's definitely going to be on my ticket in what was the most challenging of all. I like you guys, am going to try to set myself up to have 5 or 6 horses in this race. If you can have them all, that was by far the most challenging.
I will, 2 things. I will use Let's See Miss Go another time, just because it looks like this horse could give you a real easy lead. JJ jumps aboard here. If the horse doesn't win this time, that's my last time on that one. And Skip, I do a tip sheet when we have the big events at Santa Anita. I usually go 3 deep, and occasionally I will put a 4th horse in there. And the 4th horse was the one, Chasing Rain, because I said that's another must use. Very sneaky, giant gallop out. So at a giant number. So I think we're all in agreement here that this could be the bomb to end it. Hopefully another one of those big payouts. Gino, we got a couple minutes left. Last words.
Yep. Don't forget, every Saturday, so many things that you can get involved with. Those free contests. Pick'em.santanita.com. $500 to the winner. Doesn't cost you anything to enter. If you're a contest player and you're sitting back and you're getting in contest mode because you're watching the folks at the NHC, there are a bunch of $40 feeders you can play at ExpressBet that get you qualified for the Santa Anita Derby Challenge and the Florida Derby Challenge that are big games coming up in the next few weeks. So good luck, everyone.
Yeah, buddy, good luck, and we will see you again next week and tomorrow morning, of course, on the Morning Line Sports Show, AM830.net, TMLA, AM830 as well. And we wish you well. These things have been paying very well each and every week. We will do this every Friday night, preview the Coast to Coast Pick 5 the next day. So thanks, guys. Have a great weekend. Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.